Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is October 29th. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. You know, I'm going to take a bit of a look at the GOP. And it feels like I'm continually reading about what's going on with them. But part of the reason for that is the energies around them are shifting rather quickly. And in some cases, rather dramatically. So some interesting things, and it's kind of sort of what prompted the idea that I might want to do this. I just heard that there are 10 Senate seats that are being closely watched. So it's gone from being, it's not possible to lose the Senate. I mean, they need 4, whatever it was, more, Democratic senators to do that. And that's just, not likely to happen, to literally 10 that they are now watching really closely. Part of the reason that they are watching these places so closely is because apparently the Democratic, the people who are running against them from the Democrat side, can't think of it, and you know what I'm talking about. They are outraising the Republicans in terms of donations for the elections. So that is very, very interesting. So, maybe Mitch McConnell should actually get a little nervous about Amy McGrath. Go Kentucky. So I thought I would take a look at that and just sort of see exactly how frightened they are, how scared they are, and how much that energy around them is shifting. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on today, and we'll see what we can find out. All right, come on down. So we're going to take a look at the GOP kind of as a whole, but I want to take a look at kind of the Senate races. I want to take a look at exactly, what's going to happen with the vote that's coming up to the vote regarding the impeachment inquiry, because I think that's on Thursday. So tomorrow. It's just going to be interesting to see what's going on with them. All right. Here we go. GOP, GOP, GOP. All right. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is the fact that their world, literally as they know it, is coming to an end. Their reign is over or getting close to ending. And part of the reason for that, of course, is because the Republican Party has stopped being the Republican Party. The Republican Party has become the party of Trump. And there's a lot of Republicans out there who were like Republicans, not, Trump Kool-Aid drinkers, who are so discouraged and so disillusioned that they are now, following the Democrats. They're looking to vote for the Democrats. And even if Trump were to leave office and they elected somebody more palatable, a significant number of Republicans who have watched what has gone on for the last 3 years and watched how the party has literally fallen and crumbled are not going to be so quick to just give them another chance. At this point, they are going to have to prove that they have something of value to offer the United States. And frankly, they don't. Emotions are running actually really high against them. People are not impressed, and they are finally starting to get that message. They're starting to understand that, some of the polls they see, they're not outlier, whatever polls. They're not the unusual. They're becoming the norm. They're starting to see this rather consistent shift. And as more and more information comes out, it's looking worse and worse for them. They have just disappointed too many people. And not only are the people disappointed, but ultimately they themselves are going to be disappointed as things continue to unfold in the next, 12 months or so. So it's putting them in a very, very, awkward place, because they also are now coming to a place where they actually have to start making some very clear-headed decisions. And it boils down to, do I stick with Trump and stand sort of with the diehard Republicans in my area, or do I vote against him because that's the right thing to do and risk losing those people, and I'm darn sure not going to gain any Democrats and probably very few independents. So they really are in a difficult place, and frankly, I got no sympathy for them because they did it to themselves. They had the potential to finally, after all this time of not having sort of that Republican in the White House who could really make things move in the direction they wanted to, they abused it, they bastardized it, they twisted it, and they corrupted it to such a degree that there is not going to be a great deal of sympathy going forward. I mean, seriously, what you have left in the Republican Party, and this includes the voters, is that bully attitude, damn the torpedoes, I don't care what it takes, I'm going to kick you when you're down, I just need to get what I need to get. And you know what? It's just not an energy that globally is actually working very well. You have seen the reaction in Canada. It wasn't a landslide, but there was definitely that sense of, no, we are not going down that really divisive path. The whole situation with Brexit, apparently they are now calling, I think it's a December election. So they also are pulling back and saying, you know what, those of us who are a little complacent and, we really weren't interested and we didn't like either option, they're off their butts and they're off their couches, and they also are moving towards getting rid of that really negative, really divisive energy. And they're saying, you know what, this is insane. We can't keep fighting each other as citizens. We can't be in this place where there's this like, you're right, I'm wrong, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, I'm going to steal, I'm going to twist, people are tired of it. They send these people into office because they want some clarity. They want people working for them. And what they're getting is a feeling that nothing they say, nothing they feel, nothing they want has any value, because politicians are doing what they want to do, and the concerns of the everyday people are absolutely irrelevant. And that very energy is going to bring a lot of this stuff down, because, I've said it before, people expect a little bit of dirty dealing with their politicians. But at the point where it is blatant, at the point where it is actually hurting people, that's when people start putting their foot down and saying, you know what, really? That is enough. And that is what's going on. Oh, there he is. There's good old Trump sitting there. And they're not liking, okay, the GOP and Trump is not liking the information that is being presented to them. They don't like what is being offered, because what is being offered is the fact that, you know what, you're not winning, you're losing. And frankly, you have indulged in this behavior for long enough that people are not going to be very quick to forgive you. They're simply not. They kind of had it. And so he's getting really nervous. He's getting, really scared. And they're starting to recognize that they really, really don't have any good options left. So one of the things that the GOP is doing is they're continually they're doing one of two things. Either they're putting out information that is unbelievably twisted, wrong, and corrupted, or they're blocking information from getting where it needs to go. And, that doesn't only include the impeachment hearings. Apparently, the Democrats did not know about the extent of the recent Russian interference in the 2020 election. They were not informed because Trump and the GOP didn't feel it was necessary to tell them the extent to which Putin was once again interfering. So they're doing one of two things, and frankly, neither one of them are making them look the least bit good. It's just as simple as that, okay? You've just got, they're working hard to distract, they're working hard to keep people in the dark. But what is happening now, what is different from 2016, is that more and more people are absolutely recognizing the seriousness and the damage that is being caused by that Russian interference. And because of that, they are way, way, way more proactive. They're digging deeper, they're investigating, they have, sort of things spreading out and looking at a lot of different areas. And oftentimes that is left into the hands of journalists, and God bless each and every one of them, because except for the Laura Ingalls, who is not a journalist, and the Hannitys and them. I mean, they are just worse than anybody in terms of this distraction nonsense. But it's not going to work. And the fact that you have so much going on in terms of the GOP and that senator race, and the fact that what were secure red senatorial seats are no longer looking secure at all. I mean, at all. And, they're being financially, they're being outraised. Publicity wise, they're not getting any good publicity except the lying, demented kind. That publicity that doesn't make any sense, that is negative, that is hurtful, that is divisive. That's all they're getting, because they have nothing good to fall back on. So the Republicans every day are becoming, they're sitting in a more and more precarious situation. And as the forces, and I literally want to say for good, okay, as light-filled forces, as people who have more clarity about doing that which is right, are coming together and strengthening, they literally see their power diminishing. And frankly, it is not really, they weren't expecting it, okay? They were so convinced that they were invincible, that they could do anything, they could carry on behind the scenes. Frankly, they could carry on in public. They could announce things on the White House lawn and on White House property that is pure garbage and get away with it. They really, in some ways, have been unprepared for that blowback. Are they getting worried? You bet they're getting worried, because they're starting to recognize that this is not going to be an easy lift for them. they're going to have to really, really fight to try to maintain any sort of standing. And what is coming back to haunt them are the lies, the distortions, the word games, you know, sort of the nonsense that has been going on. Slowly but surely, they're starting to recognize that, you know what, this is going to come back on us, and we can only step away from previous statements we've made so many times before what little credibility we have left is completely diminished. And the attacks are getting ridiculous, okay? Just absolutely ridiculous. On MSNBC this morning, as I was getting ready to do this, they showed a clip from Fox News, and that I think it's Lieutenant Colonel is his title, Vindman, who is from the National Security Council, is giving his deposition today. And his opening statement was released last night, and he absolutely comes across as a patriotic American who is doing everything he can to secure the country that he has loved since he was 3.5 years old when he immigrated here with his family from the Soviet Union. There is Laura Ingalls. So they show this clip from Fox, right? And she is literally sitting there saying, can you believe that we have people in the National Security Council from another country? How on earth can they be loyal to the United States if they were not born here? This is a disgrace, and worse, he is not working in the president's best interest. Well, hello, he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be working in the interest of the United States of America. He's supposed to be working to uphold the security of the country and follow the Constitution. That's what he's supposed to be doing. It has nothing to do with the president's best interest. So they've just completely twist things around. And if you're not paying attention, and if you're not just a little bit more alert, you kind of don't quite catch the nuances, but they're there. And the reality is that it's just not working for them. The corruption, the money, the dirty dealings, the abuse of their positions of power. And you know what? That is not only Trump. That is Trump. That is Pence. That is McConnell. That is a whole wackadoodle of them. They're going to fall. And the promise, the hope, that goes to those who have been working quietly behind the scenes. That goes to those who are uncovering the secrets, the misdeeds. The truth always comes out in the end. And frankly, the end is speeding towards them, faster than they can almost understand. The hope, the promise, that goes to those who are fighting against the insanity that is going on not only in the White House with Trump and his administration, but literally with the GOP, who just have lost it. They become, so beholden to Trump, so entrenched, not only with Trump, frankly, but with other countries to whom they also are obliged. So, you're going to hear things about, it's impossible for the, Republicans to lose the Senate, or, oh, the Republican numbers are really good. They're not. Don't buy into it. It's not going to work. And the harder the Democrats and those independents who are pushing back, and some, honestly, to be fair, some Republicans who are pushing back against what they see going on in terms of the absolute destruction and dishonoring of their country, they're not going to slack off. They're not going to say, okay, well, we're doing good. Let's just pull back. We can coast for a while. They are going to be busting their butts from now until whenever the election is in a year from now, November, whatever the date is, 6th, 8th, 21st, whatever it is. So they're going to be working really hard to make what they want come to pass. You have the Knight of Wands here and the Knight of Swords. So what we're talking about is moving forward, things coming forward, going ahead, but they're cautious as much as they're quick, if that makes sense to you. So they're moving ahead as quickly as they can, as fiercely as they can, with as much energy and motivation as they can, but they are being very mindful to stay on the track that is correct, that is right. They're not going to emulate the behaviors and the attitudes and the antics of the Republicans. They're just not. It's not what they want to represent. It's not what they want to look like. And they sure as heck do not want to be compared to what is going on in the Republican Party right now. Okay, so this is the Democrats, okay? These three cards, that's who they represent, as did these two, as did the three before. So what this is showing us is that the Democrats, on the one hand, are anxious to move back to a time where there was some security and some sanity. They understand that they have to move forward, but as they're moving forward, they're trying to draw with them kind of the best of the past, whatever that looks like, and you know, move forward in a more holistic way so that they are able to change the minds of those that they need to change along the way. They are, you know, looking to get certain people, certain members, certain opponents to fall into line with their way of thinking. And because there is this sort of quick movement forward cautiously, they're going to do it. A change of fortune is coming to the Democrats in a really good way. The stars have sort of aligned for them. So you can look for continued gains and continued momentum coming from those people and parties that are opposing Trump and opposing what is going on. So that is really super good news because they hold the strength right now. There is a balance that they are looking to achieve. They are trying to draw people from the other side into their way of thinking. And, you know, this vote on Thursday is going to be very, very interesting. Expect that it really is going to be down sort of party lines, okay? There may be a couple here and there who sort of, you know, side with the Democrats. For the most part, at this point, it's going to be a party line vote. But that's okay because Nancy has the numbers, okay? So that vote is going to go through to move this thing forward. And again, we're one step closer to the information becoming public and this thing rolling forward. So the truth, that which is honorable, is going to push back on that which is not. That which is not, you're actually going to see, it's really bizarre, because the GOP, you've got this sort of aggressive push forward. At the same time, they're becoming very, very quiet and they're not saying a lot. So it's a sort of one step forward, two steps back energy that is sitting with the GOP right now. And the money, the energy is moving towards the Democrats. Look, you've got these cards sitting on top of the change of fortune. So you have them finding the balance and you have the support coming to them. Yeah. So again, over the next couple of weeks, expect more and more to come out. Expect it not to look good for the Republicans. They are going to continue to be in a defensive posture. And like I said, you're going to see a few people coming together, crossing the aisle, but not so much yet, but it's going to happen. Justice is going to win. It's just as simple as that. Justice is going to win in the end. Okay. So, I guess the GOP are in a wee little bit of trouble. And, you know, it's going to work out in a way that is advantageous to those who are mindful of the light, mindful of doing that which is right. And they're pushing back that which is negative, that which is harmful, and that which is divisive. And so all of that is really, really good news. And the last thing I want to say is that it was entertaining to me yesterday to watch people, including Democrats, and some commentators sort of pushing back on the whole, Trump shouldn't have gotten booed at, and that wasn't good. Well, you know what? Karma's a bitch. And I guess he got slapped in the face a little bit with that karma. And good for the people at that stadium who kind of explained or showed to Trump exactly what life is actually like outside that psychedelic colored bubble that he likes to live in, and that frankly the people around him encourage him to stay in. So that's a happy thought for the day. All right. As usual, I thank you so much for your support. All of it is brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. For now, take care. Be well. And I will see you really soon. Bye.